Now, let's see. Now, the other question that we have is from Anirban. Anirban says, your video really helped me to almost recover from a huge pain due to breakup after a 10 years relationship. Delighted to hear that. Says, now the problem is that I can't trust anybody. I see. Well, let's examine and explore that together. You know, I remember when I was much younger, when I was young, and I was on my way to school, and I was on one side of the main street, and I was going toward the school. It was a high school. And I was still far away from school, another 15 minutes of walk. And suddenly I heard a big noise and looked the other side of the street. And I saw this girl was pretty much flying in the air. A car had hit her. Or somehow, I didn't see the collision thing, but I saw her pretty much flying in the air and then landing on her legs and knees or something like that. She was walking, yeah, on her way to school, I guess. So that's a pretty bad thing to happen, right? You think she would have all the reasons in the world to never trust crossing the street or walking. And she was walking on a pavement, not even the street, not crossing the streets. But that would be legitimate if she would be really having problem trusting anybody who's driving or even step in the streets, because she was not part of anything and yet got hit. So if she comes out and recognizes that that was an individual driver, while she has to be careful more than before to recognize what's coming, what's going, and where she is, and is it safe to take this road and walk on that road or whatever, that's given. And now because of this incident, she has to be more careful, that's obvious. But does that mean that she should actually think every damn driver out there is going to actually be out there to get her or hit her? No. So if she can trust to come out in the street and go walk about and do her things in life, then guess what? The amount of thing that you might get hurt from somebody else is not going to be as severe as hers, because all the hurt and sufferings that we receive from a bad breakup is really all image. Our image gets hurt. If you really think about it, you're physically you don't get hurt. Yeah, you will be depressed and this and that. But really it's a different hurt, right? Different pain. Nothing really happens. What really happens is our mind thinks based on conditionings and things that we've been conditioned to think it's more important than our entirety, which is the way we look at ourselves from above to ourselves now that she's left us, the way that others will think about us, the way that we have been conditioned to think that if a girl leaves us, then we have been diminished, we're not approved, we are not affirmed, we are not as good as we should be or we could be or we are, because she is the measuring stick for our value and affirmation and how good we are and what we are, what our worth and value is. All these is our things that we've been conditioned to think in that certain way. So it is really our thoughts, a relationship between our thoughts and our image that we have created, or the society has programmed us to adhere to it and create this image in order to feel accepted. And what happens when the girl leaves, this is contrary to the image that we have been conditioned to attain, or we had for a while. A new order is now created by her not being in that image, and we not being able to see ourselves in the same image we used to, and now no longer be able to have that image of ourselves or the order that we've been used to do certain things. Our mechanical process changed, the orders changed, the image we have of ourselves changed, the image that we have of the other people have of us is changed in our mind. So it's all about thoughts, really. Physically, we're really not even touched. But what has been touched is the disorder to the order that we had. So, is it really that devastating that it takes away all our abilities to accomplish and experience this journey that we've been given the chance to experience? Does it? Or is it only all illusions that we are hurt because some girl didn't want us? Yeah? Think about it. So whatever happened before, you can't really say, I can't trust anybody. First of all, why do you have to trust anybody? Why do you have this need that I have to trust someone? Unless I trust them 100% in every way, then I can't have a relationship with them. Well, there's certain trusts are obviously given. You know, the trust that is important to you. That for sure has to be there before you even want to consider them as a candidate. Or, you know, you do it through courtship or getting to know each other, and then you see if they qualify or not. But trusting them that they will stay untouched and true and not changed through life, it's expecting the unexpectable. How can anything stay the same? It's like saying, I can't buy another car because I don't trust that it will stay brand new as the first day. It doesn't. It will change. It's negotiating, its tires are negotiating with the road, it's going up and down, you're using the horn, you're using the engine, everything, and this is an object. Everything else changes. You're getting older. Your cells are changing, reproducing and refreshing and changing and dying. Everything is changed, but suddenly you want a written guarantee that this person, who's also part of this universe in nature, subject to changes that everything else in this universe changes through down in the core of their molecular structures and atoms and how they've been put together. But you want an ironclad contract that this one doesn't change. So I cannot trust it. You can't trust anything forever. Even you change. So you somehow expect from your relationship or from the woman who comes to your life, who do you think she is? Some imaginary saint? She's not subjected to changes and other things that influence us on our minds, which then leads to our behavior in our bodies and so on, or our taste or preferences and all that. We all change. So the answer is not that I can't trust anybody. The answer is in this, your solution is in this. I will have a relationship with someone as long as she is compatible with me. Because we both change, but we still try to communicate and stay compatible. And when I see that I can't trust her, when I see that she's going over the boundaries of normal evolution of our life and interactions and exchange and conflicts between our energies and thoughts, and as we grow, then I'll sever the relationship with her. I don't have to say that I have to stay with her regardless of how she changes, even though she's not as compatible as she used to be with me, just because I want to think life is about one relationship. let me let me have news for you. That doesn't happen. It only happens in the movies and orchestra, that the notes will perfectly hit to the end. So have a little bit of a compassion about that. The person that you're having a relationship is a human being. It's not an angel. And so, and you are not under any obligation to expect her or want or stay with her, even if she's not or he's not, whoever, whatever your relationship is, behaving well or compatible to you anymore. So, as long as you don't think that you have to be with this person regardless of what, then you're free. When they don't comply and you guys are no longer compatible, good riddance. Go wherever you want to go, and you continue your life as positively as best what it is for you, and be sure that nothing happens to you. It's only the comparisons is what makes you think something has happened. Comparing how the order was and how it is now. Comparing how you've been conditioned to think life should be, a relationship should be, than what it turned out to be. Comparing to how it was and how it is now. These are the things that makes you think something has happened to you. It's just comparing what it was to what it is, what it could be, what it shall be, or whatever. But in reality, if you don't compare it, just take it for what it is. Live in the now, in the present moment of the actuality of how things are, then you will have an easy way to say at any time in your relationship that if she is, or if he is, whatever your partner is not complying to the way and the standards and expectations that you had, that's who she is. And then ask yourself, would I want to commit myself in a relationship with a woman of this caliber that I see at this moment in time? If it was the first time I would meet her and see that she's like this, would I consider her as a candidate? And you would say, no. So what's the difference between meeting someone and seeing, oh, she's not qualified, then being with someone and at one point in her life, you see that she's no longer qualified, but you still want to stick with her? Why is it that you choose her now, but same person with the same behavior and mentality, if you have met it here at the beginning of a relationship, you would not consider her qualified and you would not establish a relationship with her. So the same thing goes here. The only thing is that between here and here, there has been an order created. This order and conditioning of how you created an image of yourself and your life is what you're comparing it with. That this now is not how it was here, all through here. And I'm now facing with a disorder. And this disorder is what throws you off and makes you feel like, oh, something's wrong. No, it is, if you treat it as exactly, if this was the person you were meeting at the beginning of a relationship, you would refuse her, say, not qualified. But because you had this distance of creating interactions and order with her, and now she's disqualified, you have a hard time to disqualify her. Otherwise, you had no hard time to disqualify her. Here, easy. So what you're really missing is this part, not her. Is this what you have invested energy and time in it? So you're really missing yourself, not the new unqualified her. And the you is still with you. You can take it and go with another person and create a relationship just as good as before, because the main ingredient of how good it was, which is you, is still there. It's still you. So you can trust yourself, can't you? You don't have to trust them when they are no longer qualified. Understand that it's okay to not to be with them, because you wouldn't be with them if they would show you how they are at the beginning. You would simply disqualify them. So on that note, understand that not everybody is your ex. Otherwise, they would also look like her, talk like her, walk like her, sound like her, but so many different things in life. So you can't just say, because it's a female that did this to you or didn't work out with her, then this all other females are the same. Yeah, it's female, but every female is different, right? You can't just say, because one car broke down, then I'm never going to drive again, and no car was good. Well, it was just that brand of car. Find another car that with the new technology and better understanding and better programs that would suit your needs. So just because she is of the gender that you're interested in, that doesn't mean all females, all the members of the gender that you're interested in are going to be the same quality. That's unfair. So, are you saying then in that case that you are the same as every other guy out there? No, you're different. And so is the new one, new female, new girlfriend that you're going to find and want to interact with. Again, a long discussion and long answer to a short question, but that's what you get when you're here asking me a question. Okay, let's see. I hope that was something for you to consider. Anirban Ray and Anirban, I still want to know where you're tuning in from and how old you are, and if you are, that's probably it, because I know that you're a man. You said in your question. Now